Welcome to OmEn Online. Of course, I'm Adam.
And I'm Johnny.
We're out and about today. Doing a little extended episode. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Got a really great show.
It's a really good show.
Hey, sit back and watch. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to hit that
Like, subscribe, and share.
yeah, hit that subscribe button definitely. Hit the notification bell so you can see us as soon as we come out.
Yeah,
And
we're usually out every 2 weeks.
tell all your friends about it. Thanks, guys. Hey.
Okay. Bye-bye. We're starting the episode now. And some stuff might be educational.
Hey, it's Johnny on the spot. We're here with Adam. It's his birthday today on OmEn Online. Welcome. Say happy birthday.
We didn't even get ready. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Many more till you're 104. When you fall on the floor. Blow out the candle.
Then we're gonna go back to petting doggies.
Let's talk about birthdays then. Because you do know that in most of the Asian cultures,
Right.
a lot of them, their birthday's January the 1st, no matter what day they're born on. If they were born on December 31st of another year, they're considered one. So as soon as it becomes the first the next year of the new year, they're considered two, even though they're really only 2 days old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And most Asians will celebrate their birthday all on January 1st.
I did not know that. Now, would it be actually January 1st, or would it be like the Chinese New Year?
I think that follows both. I'm not really 100% sure how that works. But I know that like a lot of the Nepalis that I work with at my job, a lot of them will have their birthday on January 1st.
Could you imagine if we did it like that? Everybody's birthday was one day, so we made it one big holiday, right? And it ends up being one big nationwide kegger. It's just everywhere.
Yeah, basically.
It'd be like
if you did the purge. It's all one day, one big holiday, basically. Only a reversal. It's
instead of
killing, everybody gets together, and has fun.
Celebrate.
Yeah, celebrate. We were all born, yay!
An entire nation of drunk people. Could you even imagine that?
Yes, I could. It's called Germany during Oktoberfest. And that's not just one day.
Right.
So, yeah, and that's not a birthday. That's just Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest, man. They definitely into their beer there.
Yes, yes.
That's for sure.
I myself am not a beer person.
I like one with flavor, thick body. I like something I can taste. I don't like.
You're talking about beer, right?
I'm talking about real beer, not our standard American.
It's kind of like, that Foster's, how it says Australian for beer. I can't remember who it was, but this one comedian said when he went over there, he ordered it to try to fit in, and they were like, "Why are you drinking that piss?"
Oh, but no, I had a friend when I was online gaming that used to live in Australia, and I was talking to him about it. It's like, man, over here we don't drink Foster's.
Yeah.
We do not drink that.
My nephew, how he's adopted from South Korea.
Right.
His older sister is adopted from there as well. She lives in Australia. To the people that adopted her.
Awesome.
So it's a lot different over there. And
yeah.
Australia is a lot bigger than what it looks like on the map. It's actually like 3 or more times the size of America.
No, I don't think it's that big.
No, it's pretty damn big. That's why it's called the Outback, because a lot of Australia is not populated still.
It's big, but it's Maybe
I'm not,
3/4 of America or something like
I know it's bigger than America.
that. I don't think it is. I really don't.
I think it is, but we'll agree to disagree on that. We'll
Right.
find out. We'll get the answer
Either
eventually.
one, we don't know for sure, so we'll fact check that.
Yes,
But
we
that's
will.
what we do.
You gotta learn.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, what's the point?
Learn something every day. What was the last thing?
I believe it was Oktoberfest, and then we went over to
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, you were talking about your niece and nephew.
Yeah,
Or whatever. whoever.
yeah. My nephew's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, definitely. So Oktoberfest, man.
It'd be nice.
It'd be nice.
But-
I'm not like you said. I'm not really a beer drinker. A
Yeah.
little something with flavor.
Now look, I'd go to Oktoberfest and somehow end up in Beer Fest and get
Yeah.
annihilated.
Yeah, kind of like that one time I got into that hot sauce eating contest.
Oh yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we never have posted that. That's gonna be a behind the scenes thing. I think.
It's like the third hottest hot sauce.
Yeah, they use it on
in
that
the
show,
world.
Hot Ones. It's their
Right.
third hottest one that they got.
It was fire. Not in a good way. It was fire.
Yeah, and the last person I saw on that said that out of the three hottest ones, that was the third hottest, but they said the thing that was the worst about it was the taste. They said it's not that good of a taste.
Right.
But like the other two hot ones that they did that were hotter, they said it tasted better.
I slammed it down so quick. I didn't even.
Well,
I
see,
really
that's
didn't
just
even
it
taste
though.
I just
If
don't even choose
if
to
they
swallow.
hadn't changed it to having to go the longest, you had it. If it just stuck with who ate them the fastest,
Yeah.
you would have had it because you had them done and you were standing there for like a good minute and a half or two before anybody else was done.
Right.
You just went in there and just like, I don't care, I'm downing it.
Yeah, get it done. Definitely. That was the goal of the competition. So we haven't even talked about. We're out at.
Yeah, we're at Burger Boy, 24/7. It's kind of our favorite restaurant to go to right now.
Definitely.
It has been for a little bit. They're open 24/7. We love going there. We're outside right now because we didn't want to go in with all the people and disturb anybody
Right.
with us filming. So, you know, I mean, we might get a few shots from while we're in there, maybe take some pictures, put them up for you to see. But
Excellent restaurant. Excellent food.
now, just don't forget, though, it is a diner, which means, yeah, you might have to wait for your food, but it's worth it. Exactly.
And that's only if they're busy.
Yeah, if they're not busy, you don't really wait that long. But if they're busy, you know, yeah, you might have to wait.
Because it's
But that's
good.
the whole thing about a diner. It's not fast food. Yeah, they try to get to you as fast as possible. But you know, a thing with a diner is it's not fast food at all.
How y'all doing?
Hey.
What's this shit right here?
Filming. It's a video. On in here.
Hi.
Hey, look, there's the gorilla guesting.
We got a surprise guest in here. What's up, man? What's your name?
Man, my name is Tavion OG Grapefruit. I'm reside in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I know what it is. Well, this motherfucker. What's up?
I'm sorry for my friend.
You good, man?
What's your YouTube shit consist of?
It's online. It's just us talking with a bunch of different people with just random stuff.
Yeah, we just get people, find them, we talk to them about random things that we think about, they think about, whatever. It's just getting out there and talking to people and connecting and shit like that.
Pretty dope.
Okay,
Like
I'm
that.
gonna order my food and I'm gonna come back out. We're gonna connect like Wi-Fi.
Hell yeah.
I'm on the Wi-Fi. Well, look, see, there you go, gorilla guesting.
Yep. We said we was going to do it. Just surprise guest, man. And actually, that one surprised us, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I love gorilla guesting. But yeah, this is the things that can happen to you when you're at Burger Boy.
Things that can happen in Burger Boy, man. It's like I said, it's a beautiful place. Excellent
great
food,
atmosphere.
Great atmosphere.
It's a little more down, you know, it's done almost more old school style, and that's what I like about it. It's updated, but it's still old school.
Right.
You know, here soon, I'm pretty sure they're going to be having a shift change.
And we'll get our regular servers in. So yeah, we actually come here enough to where we know we know
the
waiters,
cooks, the
waitresses,
servers, things
servers,
like that.
Everything. Yeah.
Like, I see people in there that I know right now, like the cook that's there, but I really like it when the other guy's here. Hey, we're back again.
Yeah, we got
Tavion.
my man.
They call him
Tavion.
OG Grapefruit.
OG Grapefruit.
Bailey.
This is Bailey.
Yeah,
Awesome.
from
Awesome.
here. From here.
Oh, you're from here? Okay,
Yeah.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, okay.
Got one hometown guy. You're from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, I believe you told us.
Hey, that's nice. It's finally good to get somebody from out of town now.
Yeah.
All right, but for real, how you feel it's different, man? Being from Murfreesboro and coming here to Louisville, man, is it just like a whole different feel,
A whole different
vibe?
culture shock.
It's a whole different culture shock. It's a bigger city, and it's more of like a metropolitan city. I feel like, you know.
It is.
Right.
Yeah, and it's crazy, bro, because you see a lot of homeless people
You
getting
do.
shot out here every day.
Oh, and it's getting worse here lately.
And that's
Worse.
what's
Both
messed up
of them.
because it wasn't like that when when I was growing up.
For real.
Nah,
It's-
man.
It's
I
like
mean,
these
even
kids.
thinking my transition from like when I was growing up here till now.
It's a whole lot different, isn't it?
Yeah, within
Yeah.
I mean a couple, you know, now they even talk about like Halloween, people be starting it early because you just don't even be outside when it's dark.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and
Right.
I don't like that because, like, when I was a kid, I didn't have my parents with me. I just went out and trick or treated for hours
Yeah.
on end.
And
Go out blocks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Never be worried.
But I think it's man these young cats and these what's different from here in Tennessee with these gangs, bro. I don't feel like they have no structure. So these kids are out here under these labels and they're just doing crazy shit with no like discipline. You know what I'm saying? Gangs supposed to have structure, and I feel like this shit
Yep.
here is just
Yeah.
whack.
Yeah, it's like the leadership was lost and nobody took
Yeah.
over. I can feel it.
Yeah, nobody's
Or
keeping the dope
whoever,
right.
or whoever took over just ain't doing a very good job, and everyone else is sitting there shutting the fuck up because they're still getting paid somehow.
Yeah.
You never know.
You know, I ain't that. You know, it's real weird out here nowadays, man. Because like I was saying, when I was young, like not even too far away, Taylor Boulevard. When I was a little kid, I used to go down there, 7th Street, all by myself, all the time. Go over to the flea markets, walk around by myself. I was probably 8, 9 years old. And nowadays, I mean, this is like almost 30 years ago, and like I wouldn't let my kid walk around by himself.
You know, I live off of Taylor Boulevard, and I mean we're talking about how often. I mean, I hear gunshots all the time. I mean, how many times I drive by and I've seen caution tape and stuff like that, and I've lived down here for about a year and a half.
And most people don't realize that one of the most famous monuments in the fucking world, Churchill Downs, is kind of in the hood nowadays.
It is,
It
yeah.
is.
And what's
Straight
messed
up
up
there.
is, when I was little, it wasn't hoodie over there like that. And when Churchill Downs was built, that was actually considered to be a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people that worked at Churchill Downs and other places nearby lived nearby there. They kept it nice
Well,
and clean.
you see what happened. The people with the money moved out because they could travel further to get wherever the hell they wanted.
Yep.
And
They
the
had more
people that
space to buy
needed
nicer
access
stuff.
to everything moved in. It just kind of changed
Turn
the whole
into a
dynamic.
jungle.
Yeah.
Well,
They
and see, the thing
outgrew that
is-
area.
Yeah. I mean, my aunt still lives like literally. I guess we're going to talk about some sci-fi and stuff like that. Sci-fi be like, you know, like Star Trek type stuff, things like that to deal with science fiction. I just watched that movie the other day on Netflix that they put out called I Am Mother. It's a sci-fi movie about a girl that's grown from basically test tube all the way up and raised by a robot.
Okay.
Or a droid or whatever you want to call it. It was really good. Things like that. I'm also into fantasy as well. Kind of like I'm a big fan of the Power Rangers.
Okay.
I've been watching them since they came on in America back in '93.
Okay.
So I mean, I even have a Power Ranger tattoo.
I actually did that one.
He did that
You
for
did
me.
that?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
You do tattoos?
On the side,
Yeah.
I've pierced
This
tattoos.
this one on my leg is my freestyle pick poke. The skull I had a pattern for. The rest of it I just went at it with a single needle while I was bored.
How much would you do with that?
I'm not. All right, let me show you this. There's a little error in the line right up here in the corner. You can't see it unless you really look, but I'm not perfect shop quality, so
Yeah.
like, I don't charge
And-
shop prices. You know what I'm saying? But I'll let you know up front. You know what I'm saying? I might get a little
There might be
ding or something.
Yeah, it's like, but I don't mind.
I wouldn't want anything too, because that's not something too intense. Like that's not a lot of detail. If that makes
Exactly.
sense.
Right.
That's why I like when I get a tattoo. If it's something simple, I usually just go with him. But if I know it's something real intricate or something, I usually find somebody that I know is professional or
Right.
something.
Definitely.
And that's because it just depends on the tattoo I'm wanting or getting at the time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've got, that was actually done by a friend of mine
I like that.
who just passed away recently.
That.
He actually did a lot of my tattoos. But yeah, a friend of mine did this one for me. I actually have about 20 some odd hours worth of tattooing into this because he started on it, did all the outlining and everything. We let it, and I fell asleep on him when he was like almost done. So he didn't do any more after that. After it healed, we went back into the outline itself took about almost 6 hours because of all the outlining and trying to get to where the details and things were.
Yeah.
So yeah,
How much you charge for that?
that back then when I had it done, which has been quite a few, I'm going to say at least 12, 13 years ago probably. I gave him a first generation iPod that I found at my job, and $50.
So you said 16 hours in that?
Altogether, a little over 20 hours.
Damn,
And
I mean,
3
literally,
different sessions.
so $50 out of your way.
Pretty much.
So you can do like you can do words and stuff.
Yeah, I can do words. I did.
Yeah.
I did a name on a friend's chest not that long ago.
He did this one for me. My stepdaughter has the same one. There's actually blacklight ink in this tattoo.
Yeah, I have black light on too.
Yeah, that is a piece that we did. My stepdaughter, it's the only tattoo I have that somebody else has an exact copy of because me and her had that done for my dog when she passed away because I'd had her like 15, 16 years before she passed away. That was, and before I ever, had kids or anything, that was my baby.
Yeah,
She
for
went
sure.
places with me, she hung out with me.
That's me with my dog. I got
Yeah.
paid. Love it.
That's
Love it.
what he's got.
I got a 90-pound pit.
Show you a picture of him. He's not that big. He's probably about 70. He's short, but he's just big.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a 130-pound mastiff.
like,
That's
have you watched
my
any of
boy
the
was
Avengers
he was
stuff
100
out there?
pounds, or right at 100 pounds. That's beautiful blue, and that don't look much different than my dog. Hold on, mine's
Ooh.
not as cut as that one. He's just big.
Yeah, that's what he's more of a. He's stocky. Yeah.
I love his
Short.
dog. His dog's a big baby.
That's what he's. I mean, he's on. If he needs to be on go, he's gonna be on go. But otherwise, he's just he wants the attention, wants to get pet.
My
He's a
ex-wife
big-
was
big
so
baby.
scared of me
That's
putting
him.
my son around him when my son was like 3. And I'm like, dude, trust me, this dog's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Trust me, our son will be fine. I would not put him near a dog that I thought would fucking hurt him.
They came over to
They're
visit
normally
not that long
protective.
ago.
Yeah,
over
and
the
we,
kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
he said, we came over to visit. I had my son over and we were watching movies over at his place, and his dog's just sitting there curled up with him, bigger than him. You know what I'm saying? Just right up on him and everything, like not laying on him, but laying like
No.
next to him and somewhat on him, like with his head and things.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting there chilling, watching the movies.
That's what they do, bro. They're loyal dogs, man.
No,
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I had a Jack Russell.
Mm-hmm.
She was, my friend gave her to me one year as a birthday present, and I just, he knew at the time my living situation. I was like, if I get a dog, it's gonna be a little dog.
Oh yeah, he's definitely like he's taller.
I had
Yeah.
one like that. His name was Duke. He was black and white. He got stolen.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I had a Jack Russell growing up. His name was Louis, and they're just I don't know. He was cute and just like just a little.
My Jack Russell, her name was Eris. She was named after a video game, actually. Final Fantasy VII. The only main character in the game that dies and stays dead. Because you can't revive them or give them a life potion or nothing. Because that's the way the storyline's supposed to go. And that's what I named her after, just because I like the name.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just playing that game the other day, and every time I see that, I'm like, damn it.
Man, you had Eris forever too. Man.
I know, dude. She was my buddy. I had her for a long time. Even when I had to move somewhere where she couldn't live with me, she stayed with my mom for about 2 years. I didn't live with them.
You moved around a lot?
No, I've stayed here, and well, I've been here in Louisville all my life. I've moved around. I usually move every couple of years right now, just because I don't like where I'm at until the day I can afford to buy my own house.
I feel that.
As soon as I can buy my own house, I'll stay somewhere. But until then, I'm good. I had somewhere like that until I got divorced from my ex-wife. But
Yeah.
you know,
How'd that go?
me and her, that's rough. That's more a case of things happened there. I know I was at fault, but so was she. You know what I'm saying? But I just kind of decided after one thing, I just decided, no, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, it hurts at that point, but it's better in the long run. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Sometimes it's just better to.
And the sad part is, me and her actually get along a lot better now.
Yeah.
And she doesn't ever try to keep my son away from me or anything. She never has.
That's good.
And even if I get like a month or two behind in my child support, she knows I'll catch it right up. And I'll usually tell her, hey, I'm not going to have the money this month. I got this going on. It's like, I'll have it to you as soon as I can. She's understanding as long as I don't get too far behind.
Yeah.
You know, and I've never gotten more than 2 months behind.
Yeah. Well,
And she doesn't rate me in child support either, which is great.
I mean, it's nice because there's a lot of people that use their kid as leverage over somebody, and then
Well,
you know.
she basically told me like this: I spend money on him, I help take care of him, and I spend a lot of time with him.
Yeah.
So she's like, I don't need a ton of money from you, and besides, she actually makes more than I do. So, you know, she doesn't need my money that bad. But she said, you know, you have to pay something to help out. So I'm just glad, like, my child support is less than what I hear a lot of people have to pay. So I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still not, like, cheap, but at the same time, it is.
What about y'all? Y'all got any kids?
I do not. My dad had to pay child support for four different kids to 3 different women for a nice little. My sister finally turned 18 last year, but it was 21. Like she's 22, I'm 21. I got a sister that's 21, that's barely younger than me, than 18. So he had a nice little minute where he was paying a lot of different.
That's kind of how this one guy I know was. He had 3 kids, well, actually 4 kids total, by 3 different women. And the last one I think he stayed with, he had 2 of them with her. But the other 2, one of them wasn't too bad on him, but his second kid that he's never even got to see, that kid's mom, man, she raised him for child support. I mean, I think he has to pay like almost $600 a month in child support for that one kid. It's ridiculous. And then and then people wonder why he lives, and you know, he had a good job at the time, you know what I'm saying? He was working for like Apple IT, and he was making like fucking $20-something an hour and shit, and yet he's living in like almost a slum place.
that's an
It's
extra
like,
rent.
I can't, he could afford the rent there. He couldn't afford the rent anywhere else. It was, with all that much going out in child support alone, was killing him.
Right.
But then again, I have to say, shouldn't have had the baby then.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, but at the same time, you did it, it happened.
Yeah.
And, you can't go out, it depends. Some people go out and get an abortion, some don't want one. Me personally, I wouldn't want one, if it was my kid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, some people have to think about these things, You don't ever really know what that girl going to the abortion clinic's thinking, but at the same time, you got to think if the young one, they're probably sitting there going, I fucked up, yes, I know I did, and this is going to fuck. They don't realize what they're going to go through after that shit happens. Because it fucks them up too. And the thing is, they're usually on the plight of, some of them are, I can't afford this kid, I can't afford to take care of a kid, why should I bring a life into the world that's going to just suffer because I can't take care of it properly?
Yeah.
Now, I get that, but at the same time, then just give it up for adoption.
I feel that, but at the same time, the
But it's not
foster
my
care
choice.
system,
Yeah, the foster care
is-
system,
No, it's not a
it's not great, but at the same time, it's still better than killing them. But at the same time, it's not my choice as to what they do.
Yeah,
Right.
That's how I feel like
That-
if I was in the situation, like if it came down to it, like that's not what I would want, but obviously I can't stop her. It would probably kill our relationship. I don't think I would be able to move
that's
forward
crazy.
after that.
You have no rights to stop her whatsoever, and that's
That is crazy. And I feel personally, like in a way, that if a chick's going to use abortion as birth control, like just because I went out and partied too hard and got knocked up by someone, I get that. And yeah, if you're going to use it as birth control though, like after your second time of an abortion, I feel like you should have to be like made to where you can't have babies anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's not fair, you're going to sit there and keep abusing the system.
Yeah.
I think there's so many different angles to look at that from.
Well, there's
I do
different
too.
scenarios of
Yeah.
everything going on.
Yeah.
You're just,
Then you
end of
look
the
at
day-
somebody who was raped, and
Exactly.
it's so many.
There's a lot of
what-if.
scenarios as to what happened there, and the thing is,
I think it should be situational.
exactly.
Yeah. Every situation is different and should be judged differently.
But I don't think you should be
right.
able to allow to just go in and get one. I think they should have to do all kinds of things, see if the story you're telling them's true.
Yeah.
Things like that, because anybody could go in there and say I got raped. If they don't look into it and actually see if there's a a
But see, the
thing.
thing is that we're not going to put money towards doing all that. So it's either going to be they're going to allow them or they're not. Like, it would be nice for it to work out that way, but just the way we put money towards our defense system is going to come first over healthcare, if that makes sense.
Oh no,
Yeah.
totally.
And so it's like, it's nice to think that it's going to work out that way, and like, if it came out to it, it probably would, but it just,
There's
99% of the
always
times it doesn't. And
there's
so it's
always
just like,
perfect world scenarios, and
But
then
as
it's
we all
real
know,
world.
we don't
No,
live in a
it's-
perfect
it's-
world.
it's either everyone, it's okay, or it's not, and that's just kind of how it is, because we're not
Right.
concerned about it. There's other stuff that we're concerned about, and it's really fucked up.
Yeah, and the whole thing of everybody's equal, then like you just said, you can't say it's okay for one and not another, and you can't say it's not okay for one. I mean, it's
Yeah,
definitely a tough situation. Like, all right, like people who do the LGBTQ thing, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They want to do that. They're not hurting nobody.
Why is it bothering? Like, what is that bothering you? And like, I understand, like, you might not feel that way, but as long as they don't, it's not something that's pressed upon you, it doesn't like let somebody be who they are.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. It's a simple thing. Just treat other people the way you want to be treated. I want to have respect being who I am. Just give me the same respect. That's fucking real shit.
Yeah, I mean, that should be the new golden rule. Treat everyone the same way you want to be treated.
That is the golden rule.
Yeah, but apparently people
we
can't
just put it in
fucking
modern
realize
terms.
it.
You know what I'm saying? We just put it in modern terms.
It's just think about it as a whole. On like we constantly are trying to fix other people's shit in other countries when we have so much going on about Flint, Michigan, wildfires in California, people having
No water and
just shit going on like
Flint, Michigan's
like
unreal.
violence.
Yeah.
They've been given over $5-6 million. I don't remember exactly, and
It's still not enough.
haven't done anything. They
Well-
haven't even done the first thing.
You know, there are some people, celebrities, that are getting in on this. Like Tesla's getting in on it. Not Tesla
Elon
himself,
Musk.
but Elon Musk. He's getting in on it. Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son. I've seen where he's donated these water box things that he helped create, where they take the water that they're getting and it cleans and filters it, and they're portable, so that they can continue to make water instead of having to rely on bottled water donations and buying bottled water and stuff. Yeah, it's actually quite interesting.
You know what
Rather
kills
spend money
me?
on fucking grenade launchers.
You know what kills me is we've had these charitable organizations for how many decades, right? How many decades? And then we get one star. I think it was Akon.
Yeah,
That went over,
Akon
went
went
over
to
Africa and gave
lights.
thousands of people
Power.
electricity.
Yeah.
Within a year.
Bam. And what have all these charitable organizations been doing? What have they been doing with this money they've been given?
But they're-
If this one guy can come in and change the world like that,
It's because, like you talk about, some of them that, like, if you ask them for how much actually goes towards the donation, some of them we're talking about for every dollar is 25 cents. And the way that they get away with saying it's a charity that they don't make any profit is that they clear the top people end of the season, like end of the year bonus checks, so it goes count towards salary, so they don't make a profit. So like the Susan
It's an
Coleman
experience.
lady, the CEO, like the top person, I mean, she was clearing a couple of years, several $1 million. Like, are you really a charity making? You're making millions of dollars every year. That's fucking sick.
No,
It's sick, and it's just like, and people just don't even. I don't know. You gotta educate yourself, and like I said, if someone calls, I don't ever donate because I don't have the money to donate. But like my grandma, she'll always be like, so how much actually goes to them? And some of them, 25 cents, 50 cents, and it's like, how do you get fucking half of it? How is that even a charity? If you're, like it's terrible. Like I might as well go and donate the dollar somewhere else.
I can understand expenses. They have to
Yeah.
pay their employees to make the calls, except for volunteers. They have to pay their building expenses. Okay, they're going to keep some of the money, but if you make a few $1 million in 1 year, you pay off your building expenses, set aside your employees' pay for that year, and then go do something good. You know? And we've got decades of nothing happening. More videos online. Look at these hungry kids. It's like, well, they're still hungry. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, what was that? Who was that one chick? Sally? No, not Sally Struthers. Sally something. I can't remember her name. Some blonde haired
Sally
lady.
Jesse Ruff.
No. That's the talk show host lady.
Right.
No, her name was Sally something. But she was blonde. She had a little bit of. She wasn't fat, but you could tell she had a little bit of meat on her. And she's out there talking about these kids in Ethiopia and these starving children. The South Park even did a
remember the
thing
South
on
Park
that. Yeah, they
video.
did a joke on that where she was like Jabba the Hutt.
That's funny. She had her secret closet of like Twinkies or something like that.
No, she was eating all the food, and then she was starting to eat some of the kids too because there wasn't enough food.
Right.
But if I remember correctly.
Now, there's another side to that story though. Ethiopia, right? When they first started getting hungry, we gave them a lot of food. Okay?
We gave them
Emergency
supplies.
situation. We gave them food supplies, whatever. Then we gave them farm equipment. Right? And we gave them everything they needed to plow their fields and start growing their own food, but they had the free handout. So we continued giving them the free handout, and the equipment we sent them sat in the fields and rusted and still rusted to this day. And it's like,
They was
There
given.
has to be a limit. You know what I'm saying?
You
Get a
gotta
man a
become
fish,
self-sufficient.
shoot him for a
It's the same
day,
thing.
teaching a fish, feed him for a
Like,
lifetime.
I don't dislike food stamps because I had to be. My dad was on them when I was young because my dad had to go on disability and stuff and couldn't work anymore, so we had to go on them. Well, I don't mind stuff like that or people that are down for a little bit, but your thing is, assistance shouldn't be something you're constantly given.
Unless you're just fucked up.
Unless, yeah, exactly. Unless you're just fucked up. But the thing is, there's so many people out here that are just getting it and getting it and getting it, and really
Not
they could
even
be out
needing it.
working and
Right.
anything. It's
Beat
kind of
the
like
system.
Well, that's what for some of them they're talking like we're talking about like foster care. They people will take in more kids because they know that they're going to get more benefits. Whether or not the benefits are actually going to go toward
Right.
the kids, more than likely not.
it's kind of like remember
But they
Twitch?
try to use the
He grew up like that. He was in a foster house, but apparently the lady actually spent money on them. I think I don't remember correctly, but they actually got a little bit of their money that was sent in, and the rest of the money actually went to pay their bills because they got to grow up in a nice little neighborhood. It wasn't too bad, but him and a bunch of other kids were in there, and they were all teenagers and stuff. So wasn't too bad for him in that sense, but at the same time, could have been worse. There's a lot of other kids that are not, because my dad was adopted. He was a baby when he was adopted, though. So he got lucky. The people that adopted him, they apparently wanted him, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they were in their 50s when they adopted him. So I never met his parents, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I never met them. They died right before I was born.
So you never met his actual parents or his.
Well, I mean, I doubt that he has any association with his actual parents. I mean, it was as a child.
Yeah, I mean, he was a baby when that happened. Do not hit my car. Sorry, that car's backing up, and I don't want him to hit my car.
He didn't have Tennessee license.
He came off with fucking
Or he touched it, I don't know. Mine's the one right here by the bush. Parked there for a reason, because you wanted to get behind me. Trying to fucking hit me behind him. I don't want that car getting hit. But yeah, the foster system is like every system that we have. There's good parts to it and fucked up parts. Unfortunately, there's more fucked up parts than good parts.
Yeah. And I worked with this one dude who was from Hawaii, and he said, them kids get in those foster homes and like they get molested. He said he was molested. He said they tied him up to a tree one time. He said all types. He said he was in one foster crib. They had 3 boys and 1 girl, and they kept them in the attic. He said like a hot wood attic, and that's where they slept every night. He said one night, he said the dad had anger issues, and he would get drunk and like he would like fight his wife and shit. So one night he came upstairs and they didn't do something he wanted, and a confrontation happened with one of the little boys, and he hit the boy upside the head with something, and then everybody just ran. And he said that the boy ended up dying. You know what I'm saying? And then nothing happened to the man.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
I used to work with a lady from Hawaii who just moved back, and I was sitting there asking her, I was like, why are you gonna move back? I mean, fucking, ICE is fucking rampant over there right now. And she's like, well, there I'm moving to. She's like, it's not really bad there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that's good, but at the same time, doesn't mean it's not gonna get there.
He brought up another good point, though. He's talking about these kids being molested, right? And you think about it, we're seeing this on the news now. It's hitting like news media everywhere. All these major power people and religious people and different things are all being found to be a part of a giant pedophile ring.
Yeah.
I worked with a guy at work. His uncle was a cop in L.A. Years ago, and he said they broke up a sex ring down there where the sex ring's motto was, if it's over 8, it's too late. That
That's
means
crazy.
anything under the age of over the age of 8.
And
They
you think
wouldn't
about
touch.
it, how many missing kids do we have in the country
So you
every
they
year?
wanted to touch the little 8-year-olds?
Under 8 and under.
They wanted that?
Yeah, they wanted to perform sexual acts with them.
But we're at my house, bro. We're talking about. I just looked up. I've been bored. Looked up the sex offenders like around my like. We're talking about within a 3-mile radius. I mean, over 100. I mean, bro, it's fucking sick. I mean, like,
Right.
because I mean, they only have certain places where people like that are able to live, and it's like you can sit there and look up the charges. We're talking about like 5, 3. You know,
Little
And all of them got to be public, man. They got this map online. You pull up the map and it gets the
shows
little
where they
red
live.
dots where
You can
every
see
one
where
of
they
them
live,
lives.
their address, what their offense was. I mean, it's.
And you know what's going crazy?
And just think those are the ones that
They got
actually
caught.
conformed. No, those, well, not even just that. The ones that got caught, yeah. But those are the ones that actually signed on to the sex offender register list.
And all these kids are missing. Oh, my son ran away, but we can't find him. And
Well, me and
they got
him
to get
have this.
abducted.
Me and him have this theory that we actually put on one of our shows on here a while back. We noticed out in certain parts of more rural, I want to say rural, is that correct?
Yeah.
Parts of Kentucky, there's been a lot of girls and shit going missing right around a certain age, and they all have a certain profile. And we were sitting there saying, you know, I think there could be, me personally, I think there could be a serial killer out there.
That was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There
They
was a bunch of like round 25-year-old, all blonde, shoulder length hair. They all fit the same profile, and they're just saying there's a bunch of women on this. But they're not saying, hey man, it really looks like a serial killer.
They said that I think on average, I mean, whatever. You can how real can this actually be? But I mean, they said that I mean, there could be up to like 30 active serial killers in the United States right now. We're talking about several.
That's the only ones that they're calculating on. There's a lot more of them out there than they think. I mean, hell, personally myself, if I wanted to, I could be a serial killer, but I just don't want to do all that. It's too much work.
Yeah.
No, they.
But you feel like you do.
Oh, I know I probably could, and I could meticulate stuff if I wanted to, because I can read people pretty well most of the time. But at the same time, I ain't into all that. That's just too much shit. It's too much trying to hide bodies and stuff. I ain't got time for all that.
They say
I'm trying to live my life.
I don't know if it's true, but there's a saying that says that everybody in America will meet a serial killer in their life at least once.
No. I mean, you gotta think about it. How
You'll
often-
meet in one time of your life. You'll meet a crazy motherfucker. When you look him in his face, he'll say, "I killed you," like some crazy shit. You know what
I've
I'm
had people
Right.
tell me they'd kill me before,
Mm-hmm.
and they weren't serial killers.
Okay.
At least I don't believe they were.
You're gonna meet
but
some Tony Montana type motherfucker.
that's basically it.
Yeah. And when you meet that person, you gonna know. You gonna know, bro. You gonna know.
Oh yeah,
And some of them were crazy on their face, and then other ones are just
Crazy inside
They're
and-
smooth.
See, I like
Exactly.
cold collected.
They have no remorse, no feelings. It's like they're soulless.
Exactly.
I watched. It was on Netflix. This one was fucked up. This girl got abducted by this dude twice. Literally twice. This motherfucker was like the neighbors, the girl that got abducted was like their neighbor, and he was like best friends with the family and everything. And then they was like, yeah, I'm gonna take her like horse riding, and they're like, okay, yeah, let go. Like that's not out of the ordinary. This motherfucker goes to Mexico and is down there for like 30 days with her, and they finally like get him, and he somehow bullshits his way out of this motherfucker. And then he has the nerve to keep calling their house asking about her. You know, like, can I talk to her? Like, how's she been? Like, all this about this fucking girl, this little girl. And they're talking to him, and like, he basically had finessed both of the parents. He had like sexual relations with both of them, and he kind of used it as like blackmail on them. But he was sitting there having the nerve to call her, and then he was working at some amusement park somewhere, and he was like, send her down there, like she wants to go down there, like the girl's like wants to see him, and it's like, let me go down there, and then he just get clean and let her go down there and see him again
And
with this dude. And
that-
then she came back like 2 weeks later, and she was like, she wanted to he would call up, and it was like, does she still want to marry me? Like, he's just dude's weird, and they're letting him like First
Some
off,
R.
you
Kelly
touched my
shit.
like, you touched my like, yeah, no, it's just like he basically just like charmed the whole family, and then got to the point where he was kind of blackmailing like both of them because he had sexual relations with both the parents.
Now, was that based on a true story?
Yes, no, it was like a
Because I
documentary.
remember seeing that. I remember
It's on
seeing
Netflix.
those actual people
I had to be
No,
careful.
it's
on the
them
talk
talking.
show.
No, it's literally them. Like it's not even a reenactment of the movie. It's a documentary.
I have to be
Right.
careful because if it's on the documentary now, those are spoofs.
Like, what do you mean? No, like it's legitimately like we're
Right.
talking about like
No,
the
I
lady
will
that it
see these
happened.
people when
it's
it
the
happened
girl,
on a talk
it's
show.
the
Oh,
lady-
okay.
They brought them
it's
on.
the
I don't
girl,
remember what
it's-
show it was.
she
it
wrote
was
she
Dr.
wrote a book
Phil,
about
or
it.
was something like that.
And there was like show, and they had like live footage of like in the courtroom where he ended up killing himself like several years later whenever they were like
No, you actually going to the slam.
yeah, and so he just killed himself.
Ugh.
But like
That's crazy.
I mean, but like the fact that twice.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
R. Kelly shit. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
what, how you gonna let him get away with it 3 times? You know what I'm saying? He done broke your trust with your kid in a major fucking way, and you be like, yeah, I'll go again. It's all right.
I don't know. See, I've had people like I've looked at certain people when I've had my son around, and I don't mind being around them when I'm around. But if I have to go somewhere else or something for a minute, and I don't really want him to go with me, I still make him go with me. Mostly because it's like, no, I don't know how you're gonna act around my son.
Yeah. I mean, you really. I mean, like I said, there's people that you think you can. There's people that you can trust that you know.
Like I've left my son alone with him, and I know
Yeah,
he's
well,
fine.
I got a saying. I say this a lot, man. You gotta know your people and what you can trust them with, man. Could you be your best dude? You can trust them with your girl, not your money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you can trust them with your money, never trust them with your girl. You know, so you gotta know what people's weaknesses are. You gotta set them up for failure.
Yeah.
Right.
And you risk you put that friendship on the
They
line.
could be somebody that ride with you through anything, but they got a weakness for pussy, so you leave them alone with your chick, and you done set them up for failure and lost somebody. You
Lost
know.
your
And that's like me is like my friends like I don't try to Snapchat like or like I see my friend's girlfriend as an extension of him.
Mhm.
So it's like how he stands with you is how I stand with you. As soon as it doesn't work out, we're not cool. Don't think we'd ever be cool. And I keep that in my head because I know if it was just like, oh, just be friendly, and then it's just like it doesn't work out that way.
Right. That happens.
Oh yeah, no, but it's for sure. You know, I would. You know, I think. Yeah, there's some of them. I watch out for them, but nothing else.
I like the tattoo.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kind of people.
Yeah, that was this was 6 hours.
Where'd you have him done at?
Dottie Inc. is his name. It's he was at
They wouldn't have?
Triumph Tattoos, and then he was somewhere else, but he has his own shop. It's called Highland Tattoos.
Oh, okay, I've heard of that one.
It's
Highland
him and like Brooke is the other girl that she tattoos there, and she's dope. But like he fills up quick, like his books were open, like he's filled up until he said his books are closed until like August 1st, and then once it opens on August 1st, he'll probably close up within August 3rd for several months.
I can believe it. There's a guy like that over in Indiana. I can't remember what the name of the shop is, but I think he owns it. What to say? It's Asgard Inc., but I could be wrong.
Asgard moved, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so. He owned Asgard Inc. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if they moved or changed their name and moved or whatever. But
Right.
his name's Donald Purvis. If you want like the portrait style ones of tattoos, he's like the shit. He's like the best one around here to go to that I know of.
Yeah.
And I don't have any portraits because they're so damn expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, I don't know what I would get a portrait of yet. So
You're a kid.
I thought about that. But
Or
no,
Harris.
I thought about that too, but
But then it's like what age?
exactly. And not only that, if I get it as my kid, to me, I feel like when people do that, sometimes it almost feels like a real tattoo, like they died.
Yeah.
That's me. Now, somebody else, I mean, you can get whatever tattoo you want. That's just how I feel. But yeah.
I'm getting some new recruits.